At the start of a new year, I'm always full of the best intentions. I'm walking more, I'm going to the gym 3 times a week, I'm drinking more water, I'm reading more, I'm waking up early, I'm attacking the day and I feel amazing. But after a couple of weeks, the trips to the gym have slowly dropped off. I'm drinking more Diet Coke, my step count is down, I'm binge watching TV, scrolling aimlessly, eating more rubbish. The January blues have kicked in. There's no doubt about it, I'm in a rut. But how did this happen? I was motivated, I felt inspired. This was the year when things were supposed to be different. But instead, I'm now part of the 92% of people who fail to achieve their New Year's goals. In this video, I'm going to explain why this happens and tell you 5 things that I do to get myself out of a rut. It's well known in psychology that our brains have 2 independent systems that are involved in making decisions, the emotional side and the rational side. I like the analogy that the rational side of your brain is thinking about tomorrow. It's thinking about all of the things that would be good for you to do to have a better future, whilst the emotional side of your brain is thinking about today, and it wants instant gratification. In his book, The Happiness Hypothesis, Jonathan Haidt uses a great analogy to explain the battle between the rational and emotional systems in our brains. The emotional side is like an elephant, and the rational side is its rider perched on top of the elephant. The rider may be able to get his way temporarily by tugging on the reins hard enough, but he won't be able to keep this up for long against a 6-ton beast. In other words, going against your emotions and trying to remain completely rational will exhaust your willpower very quickly. So you can see why 92% of New Year's goals fail. People like the idea of change, but they do too much too quickly. The emotional side of their brain kicks in and it's a losing battle. Before I tell you about the things that I do that help me get out of a rut, my YouTube channel is all about me sharing my own personal experiences with the hope of positively impacting other people. But essentially, I'm just a guy that makes videos. I'm not a qualified expert by any stretch of the imagination, but this is what has helped me. Be kind to yourself. What you tell yourself about yourself is everything, and it will affect everything. For years, my internal voice has been very self-critical. I've always given myself a hard time. Nothing I did was good enough, and I was always ready to beat myself up over the mistakes and wrong decisions I made. I often found myself saying things or thinking things about myself that I wouldn't say to other people for fear of being incredibly hurtful. This kind of self-talk makes your life miserable. Last year, a very close family member of mine had a bad accident and became seriously ill. But when this event happened, I had the realization that what was really important was I needed to be kind to myself. I was coping as best as I could, and I needed my inner voice to be compassionate and understanding. And this helped enormously with getting through this really difficult time, and has since made a huge difference to my overall happiness. Just be kind and gentle to yourself, always. Just start. In a famous speech given at the University of Texas, Admiral William McRaven said,
"If you want to change the world, start off by making your bed."
The thinking behind this is that the process of making your bed first thing in the morning means that you've completed your first task. This sets the tone for the entire day. It can help you do another task and kickstart a chain of other good decisions that will give you a sense of taking charge. For a long time, I've mistakenly felt like I've needed to be motivated in order to do something, but motivation comes through action. To get motivated, you need to battle through the resistance to start. I never enjoy waking up early to go for a run, but I know that the motivation will start after I've got my shoes on and the music is pounding in my ears half a mile down the road. Often there are things that I know I need to do, such as hang out the laundry or write an article, and these tasks can seem very unappealing, but you can trick your brain into starting by saying that you'll hang up just one t-shirt or write one sentence of the article. Once you've started, it's likely that you'll continue. The hardest thing is to take the first step. The key thing is to just start. Move. Last January was hard for me. My beloved cat Billy died on the bluest of blue Mondays. We're in full lockdown and the joys of Christmas were a long distant memory. On the day that Billy died, I really felt at a loss for what to do, and so I did the only thing I could think of, and that was walk. And I walked the next day and the next day, and I didn't really stop walking all month. The route out of my low mood was to move, literally, to put one foot in front of another and progress forward, both physically and metaphorically. And now whenever I find myself stuck, unmotivated, or in a rut, I walk and I think. The cardiovascular activity is really good for your health, and walking has been proven to significantly improve your mood, even more so if you walk in sunlight or through greenery. I find I'm much more likely to start a difficult or mundane task after I've been out walking. Find your ritual. In her book, The Creative Habit, dancer and choreographer Twyla Tharp states, "I begin each day of my life with a ritual. I wake up at 5:30 a.m, I walk outside my Manhattan home, hail a taxi and tell the driver to take me to the Pumping Iron Gym at 91st Street and 1st Avenue, where I work out for 2 hours. The ritual is not the stretching and weight training. The ritual is that cab." The power of creating a ritual like this is that your good behaviors become automated. You don't need to think about the effort needed to initiate your actions. My daily ritual involves clipping the dog lead to my waist. I know that when I do this, without fail, Luna and I will be outside for at least an hour, regardless of the weather. When you master the ability to start tasks that are important to you without thinking, you don't need to rely on willpower to make them happen. Prime your environment. Chocolate is my vice. I know that if there is chocolate in my house, it's only a matter of time before I eat it. I can use my willpower to abstain, but ultimately, the emotional side of my brain will win and I will eat that chocolate. It's inevitable. Removing the chocolate from the house entirely resolves this issue and encourages me to make healthier diet choices. So now I prime my environment to make my future actions easier. When I realized that my phone was making me miserable and my social media use had spiraled out of control, I deleted Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook from my phone. The result was that my mindless scrolling significantly reduced and I felt happier and more productive. By knowing that the emotional side of my brain will probably make me do stuff that I know is unhealthy and I don't want to do, I counteract this by priming my environment to eliminate these bad behaviors and encourage better habits. If you want to know more about how to change your environment for success, then I made a video about this very subject. If you liked this video or if you found it useful, then please hit the like button, as this will help other people to see it. And if you've made it this far, then please think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already done so. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.